higher. Notice that Marnie is bringing her knee towards her shoulder, and she's shifting her weight more and more forward to create more of a push and more of a stronger kick towards the target. The striking surfaces can be the ball of the foot, the whole foot, or the heel, which is the strongest part. We can combine a regular kick forward and a defensive kick forward to hit a target that is vertical one, inward. Jared is lifting his knee and then kicks forward with the ball of the foot. Other striking surfaces, of course, can be the heel or a point of a heavy shoe. And now with the forward leg. From a correct distance, Jared will kick fast towards the solar plexus and slow, hitting straight inward. And fast 2 times again. Demonstrate now a defensive kick backwards. You raise your heel backwards and then send the whole leg backwards in a straight motion. You must be looking towards the target, hitting with the heel, and the toes should be as much as downwards as possible. You should look by the side of your shoulder or under the arm. Jared will demonstrate for us now the learning stages of the defensive kick backwards. We will start with raising the heel backwards. Now we continue with bending forward, looking backwards by the side of the upper arm. Now we deliver a kick backwards. It is a straight kick backwards, sending the heel straight from the area that it brought to the target. The weight is delivered, sent in the direction of the attack, meaning landing backwards. Jared will demonstrate for us another member of the family of the stomping kicks. This is the side kick. And slow, we see that Jared is lifting his knee forward, then pivoting at the hip joint, sending the heel directly from the hip to the target. To initiate a strong hip movement, he is also pivoting at his base foot. The weight and the hip are directed towards the attack, towards the target. Marnie will demonstrate for us now the learning stages for the side kick. We will start with a defensive kick backwards. Then we will turn a little bit to our right and kick to the same target as before, which is dangling behind us to our right. Then we will turn a little bit more and kick sideways. Let's break the movement, and we see that Marnie is lifting the knee and then pivoting at the hip, sending the heel to the side, and from here, in flow motion, we kick the side kick. The side kick can be delivered to different heights, such as the knee of the opponent. We are also bending our base knee, or at the midsection, the lower ribs of the opponent, or even up to his head, if you are flexible and able.
The defender must also know how to function if he or she should fall to the ground. Wade gives an example of someone who is down, but he puts himself in a readied position to deal with an aggressor who approaches him. At this point, Jared is approaching with the pad. Front kick is delivered sharply from the back position. You can see how Wade is shifting his weight onto the forward leg, that's the base leg, as he sends his hips forward and into the kick. The rhythm now can be broken, and you see the position is changed. Wade is more on the side and delivering something between a side kick and even a defensive front kick. Notice the defensive positions of his hands and how he rocks forward to put his weight in the kick. In this position, we watch as Wade is moving his body in order to deal with an aggressor who's attempting to change the angle of attack. As Jarrett moves to find a better way of attacking Wade, Wade is able to move in such a way that he's keeping the more vulnerable parts of his body, like his head and neck, at a further distance from the attacker. Less vulnerable target areas, such as the legs and feet, are presented towards the attacker so that less injury can be caused by any possible attack. In addition, when striking, if the strike is to a small target area, generally the foot is placed horizontal to the ground, parallel with the ground. This provides for a larger striking area on a smaller target. If the strike is delivered to a larger target area, the toes can be upward, similar to that of a front kick. That is due to the larger target area. In addition, once it is safe to do so, Wade can regain his stance by raising himself in an appropriate way to deal with the threat. As previously mentioned, we want to be able to strike at appropriate distances. That distance may be far, or that distance may be at an intermediate range. And of course, we must operate in close. When we were talking about punches, we were making long punches, and when we got in close, we reverted to the elbow strikes or even a headbutt. Now, in addressing what we're doing with our legs, at a further range we're kicking, and as we get in close, we make the variation and change to using our knees. Our knees can generate a great deal of power in a short distance, and it allows us a variety of tools in the fight. In this view, we'll watch Marnie as she delivers a variety of powerful knee strikes to the target. Notice that when she's striking, she's using the actual front part of her knee. The knee is pointed, and the foot shoots off the ground and springs forward to deliver a powerful knee. She's pulling the opponent forward while the knee comes up to meet the target. It's a spring-like action, and she gains power from the ground as she springs up and forward to the target. The knee is pointed. The striking area is the knee itself, not the thigh. This smaller striking area offers more penetration than the larger area, such as the thigh. Also, it is a much harder striking surface than any other possible option in that area. Marnie will now demonstrate a series of knee strikes slowly. First, the catch. You see, as Marnie is delivering the right knee, she is pulling the target towards her. The combined force of the pulling of the target and the outward delivery of the knee gives greater power. Also, you'll see how she's pushing off with the ball of her foot as she gives the knee. It explodes forward, and she strikes with the actual front part of the knee. It is possible to grab someone around the neck, and in this case, she puts her elbows together as much as possible so that the opponent will not have the ability to slide their head out and escape her grasp. A side view also shows another possibility. Here she can grab the shoulders of the person she's giving the knee to. You see also her hips involved in the delivery of the knee. You see how she's pulling the person forward. And you see how her hands are up in a position that covers her face, and her head can be buried to avoid any possible strikes to that part of her body. In this next subject area, we deal with defending against strikes. In particular, we're dealing with those strikes that come from an outside angle in. The exercise is called 360-degree defense because we are defending at a 360-degree range around us. This exercise is also used as a training method to develop peripheral vision so that we can pick up on movement on the outside. Our defense is foundational and is created at a 90-degree angle to stop the given attack. Later, we'll be adding counterattacks so that we are defending and attacking together to stop any subsequent attacks. And further, this is very important to note that other exercises seen later in knife and other subject areas are based on and are built